to each and every one of you. Being the first Tuesday of the month, September, we welcome you to the City of Daly City Virtual Planning Commission of September 7. The current Virtual Planning Commission meeting format has been undertaken by the City of Daly City in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Planning Commission thanks the public for its participation in the virtual meeting format. It is our intention that the Commission receive any and all kinds of comments that you may wish to make for the land use proposal being considered tonight. If you would like to comment, please register to do so at the website address that is on the screen. Thank you. It is now my privilege to call on Rick to the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance
I pledge
to the
allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rick.
Sure.
Roll call, please.
Crump,
Present.
Villanueva,
Present.
Pacheco is absent, Bravano is absent, and Satori.
Here, present. Okay, tonight we're going to waive the approval of minutes until the next meeting. So any question about that? Hearing none. We have an item one today for public scrutiny, and this will be the use permit UPR 06-21-015105 modification to the existing Lake Merced Golf Course that would return 16 golf holes at the LMGC to the original McKinsey layout. Convert.
Hey, Ray, sorry to interrupt here.
Yes.
This is Nick. My Paul Staley, who's scheduled to speak, is having a little trouble getting into the meeting. Is there a passcode that you know of, or could Michael maybe resend him the link?
I'll do that. Gary Pacheco is also having trouble getting in for some reason. I will send Paul and Gary new links.
Okay, great. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay. Anything else before any issue? So Michael you can call Michael anytime. Okay, continuing the LMGC to the original McKinsey layout, convert the existing fourth and fifth holes located on the northern portion of the property into a practice area. Construct 2 new holes to replace the 2 holes converted to a practice area, and install a new golf course irrigation system. The existing on-site structure will remain unchanged. This will be presented by the planning manager, Michael Van Longhoksen. You can go ahead, Mr. Michael.
Let me get these links out real quick, please.
Okay.
Okay, I just sent Paul's, and then I'll send Gary his. Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties tonight.
It's only a perfect system when it works.
Uh-huh.
That is why I came in early, because sometimes I'm having a hard time from Facebook to Google to yeah.
Welcome to the club.
I can see the name of Mr. Paul.
Is he in?
Welcome,
Yes.
Mr. Paul Daly.
Yes. Good evening.
Okay,
Sorry for the confusion. I'm in.
Okay.
Okay, we're just trying to get Gary Pacheco in now. I don't know. Now he's not contacting me. Should we just go ahead?
Or you can just tell him to use the cell phone. Anyway, he can hear us, he can talk. Cell phone is, I remember I lost that also, the same thing.
He's
And I
registered.
Oh,
I
if
don't
he's
know.
registered, then just push it in and then that's it. By the telephone is okay.
I'm not sure. No, he's kind of dropped off, so. Well, why don't we just go ahead, and then if he tries to,
Yes, go ahead, yeah.
he's not emailing or texting anymore, so,
Yeah, we have a quorum.
okay. Okay, I'm gonna share the presentation too. Oh, hold on, he's texting again, sorry.
Yeah, but the telephone is okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how else to help him, so I think we'll just go ahead and get moving. Oh, I'm not sure what's happening with him. I'm going to share the screen for the presentation. Okay, good evening, planning commissioners and any members of the public present. This is a request by Lake Merced Golf Course to perform some modifications to the existing golf course at 2300 Universal Boulevard. The use permit is required due to the amount of grading activity or the amount of imported fill rather that would be required to complete the project. As most of you may know, Lake Merced Golf Course is located on the west side of 280, just as you come into Daly City past John Daly Boulevard. The golf course that's on the right as you're coming in on 280 southbound. Here's a general vicinity map. The golf course has been present for quite some time. Here's an aerial photograph from 1938 showing the configuration at that time of the course prior to any of the development around it. So it's actually pretty interesting aerial, I think. As you can see, the Interstate 280 was built in this area. I don't know if you can see my pointer. And so a portion of the golf course was taken for construction of the freeway. And then, of course, the Westlake subdivisions are in this area. And so this looks much different today. So the proposal in a nutshell, and is outlined in the staff report, is that the golf course would like to return 16 of the golf holes to the original McKinsey layout. If there's any questions about what exactly that means, representatives from the golf course are present tonight to answer that. There's a proposal to convert the existing 4th and 5th holes located on the northern portion of the property into a practice area, including driving range. Construct 2 new holes to replace the 2 holes converted to the practice area. I believe those would be on the southern end of the property. And then also included is installation of a new irrigation system. And as I'd indicated previously, the proposal does include importing more than 500 cubic yards of soil, and therefore a use permit is required by the Daly City zoning ordinance. I just read those, sorry. Repeat slide. This is a concept drawing of the proposed golf course layout. And again, no structures would be built as part of this, and the number of holes would remain the same. It's just basically a reconfiguration of the golf course concept, and this is what's proposed. And again, if any of the commissioners have any detailed questions about this, the applicants are here. This is a site plan showing just a little bit more of a sort of engineered drawing from the previous concept plan. For those of you who may not be familiar with how the golf course is accessed, it's down at this southeast corner of the site along University Boulevard here. And this is the Broadmoor neighborhood to the south. And then Westlake surrounds it. Westlake Apartments would be to the north, and then Interstate 280 on the east side. On the left is an aerial showing the existing course, and the right is as proposed, with the relocated driving range on the northern portion of the site. Some of the commissioners may remember a proposal for some netting that came before the commission a few years ago at the southerly portion of the site. So there's no longer the need for that netting with the moving of the driving range to the north side of the site. This is a photo sim of what the driving range would look like on the northern portion of the site. Just to orient the commission, this is the Westlake Apartments on the right side of the photo sim. So this is looking west. This is the cut and fill diagram that shows areas that would be cut, shown in the red, and blue areas are areas that would be filled. And there's a balancing of about 65,000 cubic yards of soil, I believe. So there's not really that much importation. It's really just shifting soil around on the site. And this shows where areas would be filled and cut to achieve that regrading. As we'd indicated in the staff report, there, I believe, are about 110 trees that would be removed. And there would be replantings to mitigate the loss of those trees with new trees. And this map shows where, or this plan shows where the trees would be removed and replaced. There's an arborist report that accompanies the application and is included in the Planning Commission's packet, as well as this tree removal has been identified in the CEQA document that was prepared for the project, which confirms that the project is categorically exempt from CEQA. There's some conditions of approval that have been added to ensure that the golf course reconstruction project remains exempt from CEQA, including consideration of nesting patterns that may occur in the trees to be removed. This is the project phasing plan. So the grading operation would occur over a number of months, beginning in November of 2021 and concluding in April of 2022. Again, showing 4 phases and working, it looks like working from the north part of the site down through the midsection of the site to the west, and then the final grading would occur beginning in April of 2022 in the southeast corner of the site. So this is the anticipated schedule for grading activities. Grand opening is planned for October 1st, 2022. It's our understanding that the golf course would remain operational during the for the phases that are not currently under that would not be graded at any given time, not be under grading at any given time, if that makes sense. So the golf course is remaining operational. Use permit considerations are hours of grading operation, tree replacement, protection of nesting birds, best management practices prior to the start of earth moving activities, and requirements per the city's NPDS permit. There are conditions of approval related to each of these that are identified in the Planning Commission staff report. The only really outstanding item that the golf course, I believe, is going to request the Planning Commission and City Council to take a look at is the hours of grading operation. The city staff prepared a draft condition of approval that's included in this packet that the applicant live at grading Monday through Friday, 7 to 6 p.m., 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and that activities not involving grading be permitted only on Saturdays, 9 to 6, provided activities do not involve more than 10 truck deliveries to the site, and that Sunday work not involve the use of any motorized equipment. It's our understanding the golf course would like to expand the Saturday activity to Sunday. It was the staff's intention in developing this condition of approval that residents be not subjected to the noise associated with the Sunday work. The golf course is under a bit of a time crunch to get all this done in anticipation of the target opening date. And they can elaborate more on this, but this is our condition of approval, and just so that we have it on the screen. The project is exempt from CEQA. The city's environmental consultant has confirmed this in a memo that was attached to the project staff report. And we are recommending approval of the use permit subject to the findings and conditions of approval. Again, if there's any questions, the applicant is here as well as the city staff.
Hi, Michael.
Thank you very much, Michael. Welcome, Commissioner Gary Pacheco. I'm glad that you are in.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say that this golf course concept has been long overdue. And I'm really excited about this because this is one place in Daly City that we can be proud of because it's one of the best places to see develop. And before I open this to public discussion, I would like to ask my fellow commissioners if they have any issues or concern or any questions, because this is just a process. Okay, go ahead, Gary. Do you have any questions?
I just have one question. Michael, I know I joined in late, but could you kindly repeat when the opening date of this golf course will be?
Sure.
October.
Just to reiterate, it's an existing golf course. It's a grand reopening, if you will. October 1st, 2022. Here's the project phasing plan, Gary.
Okay.
The grading has been segmented in the site to 4 separate phases, and the dates are on the screen. And I can read them if you like, but they're going to start at the northern part of the site and work their way south toward the project entrance, which is located here where the arrow is at Unipro Serra Boulevard.
I think October 1, 2022 will be a good opening because
Right.
of this pandemic. Probably by our projection is by April or May, this pandemic will be, I would say, it will normalize all the activities. So probably October is a good date. So it's just a good timing. And any more questions from my colleague Rick and Belva?
If I may,
Go
Ray,
ahead. Go
just
ahead.
one comment. I would like to compliment Mr. Bailey and the president of the golf course for bringing forward a really good plan to change this. The last thing before us would have had major impact on the neighbors, and this way it minimizes any impact on those neighbors' backyards. And it looks like, from what I can see in the drawings, that you are going to do a really fine job with these 18 holes.
I think all the safeguards were put into by the planning department. So I fully agree with that. And seeing the proposal, I think, as I've said earlier, it is a high time that we improve, develop this top dollar location. It's really, I would say, it's a beautiful place. And I haven't been there for the last 5 years. I want to see it. And I want to eat there. I hope Mr. Paul Staley will allow us to do some lunch or dinner there once upon a time.
Come on by.
Okay, yeah. And any more questions from
I just had 2 questions.
Sure, go ahead. Even 3.
I had just one. I'm not too familiar with golf course design, so I was curious, what is the Mackenzie layout?
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
The course opened for play in 1923. That design was really hard. So the club brought in a golf course architect by the name of Alistair McKinsey to redesign the course in 1928, basically to make it more fun to play and just a better golf course. Alistair McKinsey is probably the most famous, most accomplished golf architect in the history of the game. Again, you said you don't pay much attention to golf, but you know, the Masters tournament is played at Augusta National, which is a course he designed. And that was the course that existed at Lake Merced until 280 came in the mid 60s. And it lopped off about 10 acres off the eastern portion of the property, and the course was redesigned. And what was lost in the process were a lot of very special holes and features that Dr. McKinsey had made part of the course. And so we want to bring that back. And that is one of the objectives of the project. So I hope that answers the question.
Oh, yes, thank you. And second, you mentioned that you're requesting to extend the working hours into Sundays. If those working hours, if you can't work motorized equipment into Sunday, how much does that affect your construction schedule? If you're trying to meet the October 1st deadline?
I think honestly, that's hard to say, because another factor for us in terms of progress will be how wet a winter we have. I think we're all hoping for a wet winter. And, you know, it honestly, it'll make it a little bit tougher, but we want to also respect, you know, people's need to, you know, have a restful Sunday morning. So we're willing to work with staff on some sort of accommodation there.
Okay.
I think it's also important to note that the contractors that we're working with are looking for just a little, they don't want to work every Sunday by any means. They're just looking that if we do have weather delays, that there's some flexibility. So most Sundays we would not be, they would not be working out here at all.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Gary, do you have any more issues to?
Oh, no. Well, one of the questions have already been addressed, which Belva brought up. So thank you.
Okay. Rick, do you have any more questions?
No, I don't, Ray.
Okay. My question is, if you're going to have the so-called this for people who wants to, I would say, just driving range, can they just go there and enlist like me? I'm not I'm not a stockholder of that LMGC. Can I do my driving range just say as an exercise 1 hour a week, something like that? Can it be done?
The range is only open to members and their guests. So, if reach out, and if you want to come out and hit some, let me know. But it is, again, this is members and guests only. So there is
Yes,
no.
that's what I understand. That's why I'm asking this because assuming I would like to eat also in your dining room, dine with your place or have lunch. I cannot do that also, right? Except
Again, as a guest.
okay, I'm just asking this because it is very elitist to me. That's why some people will be asking this question: why is it that this place is too elitist? It's too.
Oh, and I think, while Paul does highlight that it is a private club, we do quite a few community events where members of the public can come out and play and practice. And then from an event standpoint, we welcome the public if they want to host an event here, whether it be just food and beverage or if it's a golf event. We take care of those events a lot of times on Mondays, but certainly we want to be supportive of Daly City and the public.
Like probably as a resident of Daly City, if you can probably open up one day for at least for everybody, for the residents of Daly City, just sort of a friendly and goodwill thing to do. Because, as a lover of history, sometimes the empire fell down because of too much elitism. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, we understand that. And we would like to sort of continue that conversation. We have for over 50 years had the high school golf teams from South San Francisco High and Jefferson High. They've been using our course.
That is what I'm saying, that we have to open up a little bit. Not necessarily 100%, but if you can open up 25% of your facility to the residents of Daly City, at least we will love you for that.
Okay.
Because as a pro people and a proactive to the community, we need also to see what's going on inside.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm thinking about. Not really to use it, but at least sometimes we're curious. What's inside of what we cannot eat there without being a member, a stockholder, something like that. And if I want to be an associate stockholder, how do I do that? Or if it is really close, then we cannot do anything about it. That's part of the system. That's only my question, Your Honor, because I really wanted to sometimes go there and eat my lunch or dinner, but we have so many constraints. That's why I'm asking this question. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Staley. And Nick, if we can address that at least one day a week or twice a month, we can invite people who are, say, from the city, that they can at least eat with us.
No,
I hope you're getting my point, Your Honor.
Yeah, I get your point. In fact, I was talking with some other members just the other day about, could we have an expanded set of junior golf clinics for kids who are living in the neighborhood? So we're interested in providing that kind of relationship. So let's continue that conversation.
Yes, good. I'm glad to hear that. Any more question? Assuming I'm just speaking aloud. Assuming Tatum and I and Michael would like to have a lunch there, quick lunch. Okay. Can we do that?
Yes.
Kelly, including Kelly. So
only if we approve it, Ray. Only if we approve it.
Well, we have to ask the permission of in fairness to the stockholders also. because that is part of the capitalistic system that we have. Okay, so I'm just speaking aloud. If we can just open a little bit. Okay. Thank you. Any more question before we go to the public discussion or public hearing? Open up this one. Hearing none, so I'm opening those who are in favor to open this meeting. Anybody who wants to, do we have any letter from day two? Any letter?
No letters, and there doesn't appear to be any anybody with their hand up or anybody else attending.
Yes, Mr. You recognize Mrs. Paul.
Yeah. Anyway, good evening. Paul Daly. I'm president of the board of directors of Lake Merced. And speaking on behalf of the members, we are asking the commission to approve our application for this use permit. Our bylaws require a vote by the membership for a project of this scale. And this project was approved by an overwhelming majority in a vote held earlier this year. As Michael's kind of run down the list of objectives, this project has three main objectives for us. First, we'll be able to replace a very outmoded irrigation system with one that will provide for a lot more efficient use of water. Should be noted that we use on the course tertiary water we get from the city of Daly City and well water that's pumped from wells on our property. Second, by relocating our driving range, we can create a practice area that's safer for our members and guests, but also safe for our neighbors. And third, this project will bring back a golf course that's been lost. As I was answering the question earlier, when 280 came in, we lost a big chunk of property, the course got redesigned, and we lost the work of this great golf course architect. And what makes this opportunity very special is that the architect who will be guiding this project now, a gentleman by the name of Gil Hands, is regarded as one of the best in the world today. So the combination of those two, Gil Hands bringing back Alistair McKenzie, not only has our membership excited, but has the golfing community as a whole pretty excited. So, we look forward, hopefully, to a reopening on October 1st of 2022, which will be our centennial year. And we'll have a golf course that's more sustainable, that's safer, but that most importantly is a place where people of all ages and all abilities, can have the fun and challenge of playing a truly great golf course. So I'm hopeful that the commission will approve our request, and thank you for your time and consideration this evening.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Staley. Nick, do you have anything to say?
Again, just echoing Paul's comment, a thank you to all you for your time tonight. And I would just, as a mention to those who are in the public listening tonight, I would just say that, my job here as a general manager is to be available to our members, but it's also to be available and a good partner to our neighbors. So if anybody has any questions or concerns that might not have come up tonight, but come up throughout the project, or if there's anything that they see or hear that they have questions about, Michael has my email address or phone number. Both of those are listed on our website at lmgc.org. So I can make myself available for any questions or concerns they might have. But thank you.
Thank you very much. Actually, personally, I'm full support of this and in full accord with your concept and project. My only issue is if we can open up this to some sort of once in a while to the public, being a civic leader, a community leader also. And I would like to see that we can be partners in not only exclusivity to your place, but also to the community of Daly City, that sometimes we can have a project for the sake of the citizenry of Daly City. That's my passion. I'm not a politician. I'm just trying to see to it that Daly City, where I live, will at least be harmonious and we have a good relationship to all, not being very exclusive, because that is some of the fall down of the great leaders sometimes when you become too exclusive, very elitist. So I think you know what I'm talking about, and probably you can at least share this also to the community, whatever social or economic wherewithal you have. We want to see that happen also, Your Honor, Mr. Staley, Mr. Bailey. So that's only my message. I have nothing. Yes,
I do
go ahead.
think we share in that passion. At my last club, I was able to set up a foundation that helped benefit junior golfers within the community that I worked in, and certainly Paul and I and the board have had conversations with Olympic Club, because the Olympic Club has a big foundation that they work with as well. So I think that we can certainly continue that conversation, because we want to be good neighbors and good partners on that.
And not only good neighbors, but at least the so-called goodwill and harmonious relationship with the community that can really bring about a good human relationship to us, to everybody. That's only my passion.
And it's important for us to grow the game of golf too. So supporting getting the community out to play is an important piece of that.
One way of showing that is assuming the driving range. If we can just, I go to the driving range once in a while just for exercise, 1 bucket or 2 buckets, or hitting just exercise. If we can open that up just like that, then we'll appreciate it. Always begins, as a Chinese philosopher would say, journey to 1,000 miles always start with the first step. Thank you very much. And so, any motion to close this hearing?
So moved.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we close this public hearing. Anyway, it's unanimous. Now, to adopt the findings as outlined here in the staff report of September 7. Any motion?
Mr. Chairman, before we go forward, can I just raise a question here? Sure, it had been discussed, there is a condition that we'd be adopting, that there be no work on Sunday. Did we wish to amend that condition so that if they had to, because of rainstorm or whatever, they could work on Sunday from, 9 to whatever hour?
That would be extremely helpful.
Okay. It's been moved by Commissioner Rick that, can you state your motion again, Rick?
Very simply, I would move that we amend the conditions to allow the work, if necessary, on Sundays.
Second the motion,
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that that the motion of Commissioner Richard Tripp will be adopted. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. It's unanimous. So to me, I'm not going to amend your. To me, 24 hours, for as long as they're not using heavy machine, that's okay with me. Like changing the soil or just moving the soil, that's okay, for as long as there is no hard machine that is working. I've seen how the golf course lay their foundation. Anyway, it's up to you, Michael, to see to it that this is done. It's just common sense that, especially the neighborhood, sometimes they keep on complaining about this and that. But anyway, for as long as the safeguard is well in place, I don't see any problem. Okay. Motion to affirm the environmental assessment. Any motion?
So moved.
I
Second.
Been moved and seconded by Commissioner Gary and Belba to affirm the environmental assessment. All those in favor say aye.
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 Unanimous. Any motion to recommend the approval of use permit UPR -06-21 15105, subject to the condition outlined in the staff report of September 7th.
So moved.
I
Second.
Been
second.
moved by Rick, Commissioner Rick, and seconded by Commissioner Belba and Gary. The approval of the use permit UPR-06-21-015105, subject to the condition outlined here. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried unanimously. Roll call, please.
Crump,
Aye.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Pacheco,
Aye.
Satori,
Yes. So this been approved. When is this going to the board, to the city council? I mean.
September 27th.
Oh, good. So Mr. Paul Daly and Nick Bailey and Miss Hanson, we're in accord with this. Actually, it's been long overdue, been delayed already. So congratulations, and see to it that you make a follow up this to the city council on September 27th. Okay.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
And anything else that any words from my fellow commissioners? Any word of wisdom?
Not
Nothing?
tonight.
Not tonight.
Thank you very much to everybody and for your attendance. So we want a city that is well developed and well placed. Thank you very much. And motion to any vacation or anything that you would like to speak or anything under the sun. So we will allow you. Nothing?
No,
No.
nothing.
Any motion
Nothing tonight,
to,
Ray.
Nothing tonight. Okay. Last time I spoke my mind. So this time I'll just keep quiet. And any motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
I
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we have to adjourn this. Congratulations to Mr. Post Daly and Nick and Mr. Hanson. Thank you very much and have a good night.
Thank you
Have a
all.
Good night, everyone. Be
Good night,
safe.
everyone.
Take care.
Until next
Take
time.
care, everybody.
Bye.